I think we all know by now that mindset is incredibly important when it comes to succeeding in any field, whether we're an athlete or a business person, a professional in a corporate environment or working for ourselves. And unfortunately, there seems to be a kind of folklore, almost mythology around being an entrepreneur and the beliefs as to what it takes, the stories we tell ourselves, the stories that are being told about overnight successes, about the hustle it takes to get to where people like Elon Musk and so on are at the height of their success and so on. And that can be quite damaging, in fact, very damaging. It can hold us back. And in fact, it doesn't matter how clear our goal is, it doesn't matter what strategies we use, it doesn't matter what tools I give you, it doesn't matter what action steps, to-do lists you write, you take, you're not going to get to those goals if you have these beliefs and stories holding you back. So it's really important to work on those in order to be able to get to where you want to be. So I wanted to get to some myth busting. Of course, there are many, many to choose from, but I've chosen 5 to talk to you about today. And the first one is, I have to fill in the latest strategy here to succeed. i.e., I have to launch a course, I have to have a membership site, I have to run live webinars, I have to do recorded webinars, I have to do email sequences, I have to have lead magnets, I have to do a PDF lead magnet, I have to do a video series, I have to do a video challenge, I have to be really good on video, I have to have a podcast, I have to publish a book, I have to, right? And this is a myth. And I'm going to be digging into more of these on the podcast. So listen out for the new episode that is out today on Reimagining Success Podcast. You can go to reimaginingsuccesspodcast.com, or you can search Reimagining Success on your favorite podcast app. So the first myth I want to break down, and I will break down in the episode today, is that you have to follow XYZ strategy in order to succeed. In fact, that's first of all not the case. You don't have to. And secondly, it's not even desirable. So that's the first one. Now, the second one is, I have to succeed first time round, otherwise I will have failed. So, the first time I run my webinar, the first time I launch my course, the first business I launch even has to succeed, otherwise I'm a failure. Again, not true, and we'll dig into that on the podcast. The third myth I want to bust is that I can't possibly charge, fill in scary number for you here, because of fill in your reason here. So whether it's because of my industry, because of my market, because of my inexperience, I can't charge this figure, I can't charge that much, it's just not possible. And again, not true. I promise, whatever that figure, whatever that market, industry, excuse that you're using, there is someone out there who is charging that amount. So what's a scary figure for you might not be for me, because I've been in business for longer. What's a scary figure for me is definitely not a scary figure for so many other 6, 7, 8-figure entrepreneurs out there, right? And so it's all about the value you're bringing. It's all about what you can justify. It's about the target, the client target you're working with. It's about the journey you're taking people on, etc., etc. So that's another myth, that I can't charge X, Y, Z. And of course, that is definitely holding you back in terms of achieving your financial targets and possibly even having a business that is viable. Fourth myth we're digging into on the podcast is, I have to have a massive audience, otherwise I'm not going to be able to have a successful business. And I can tell you now, big secret, which is not so secret if you look at my social followings, I don't have a huge following. And on LinkedIn, actually, I have quite a lot of followers. On the other platforms, maybe around 1,000. And of course, I would like to grow, and I plan to grow these platforms. But hey, I'm running a successful business even without the 10,000 swipe up feature of followers on Instagram, for example, right? So of course, if you have a low cost course, you're trying to peddle to lots and lots of people, you do need a big audience if your conversion rates are low and so on, but you don't have to have a massive audience. And the final myth, perhaps the most important one, and I mentioned it in the intro there, I have to, and it's normal that I hustle harder and harder and harder for less money than I did in my full-time job, for example, right? That it is hard work. Yes, of course it's hard work. It's harder work. I should be stressed. I must compromise, sacrifice health and relationships and so on in order to succeed. So those are 5 myths I'm digging into over on the podcast. Do check it out. Again, it's live today. So search Reimagining Success on your favorite podcast app, or you can go to reimaginingsuccesspodcast.com and listen to it on the website. Thanks so much for listening. Enjoy.